My Weirder School, Book Number 6. Mayor Hubble is in trouble. Written by Dan Gutman. Pictures by Jim Pelot. Chapter 4. Super Secret Strategy Session. We needed to have a meeting in a place where Andrea and her girly girlfriends couldn't spy on us. Ryan has a cool treehouse in his backyard, so we decided to meet up there. Michael, Neil, and Alexia came over to Ryan's house after school. I don't know anything about elections, I told the gang. How am I going to beat Andrea? Does anybody have any ideas? You need a slogan, suggested Alexia, like AJ puts the cool in school. You should get the Nobel Prize for that, I said. How about AJ puts the drool in school, suggested Michael. That doesn't make any sense, said Ryan. There's no DR in the word school. We should make a commercial and put it on TV during the Super Bowl, suggested Neil the Nude Kid. The Super Bowl is in January, said Michael. It's too late. The election is in November. How about we make one of those Batman signs and project it on the sky at night, suggested Ryan. That's dumb, I told him. Hey, nobody likes to floss, right? Said Alexia. So what if we knock on people's doors, show them how to floss correctly, and tell them to vote for AJ? That's the dumbest idea in the history of the world, said Neil the Nude Kid. Well, I'm stumped, said Michael. Your legs were amputated? I asked. No, dumbhead, he replied. Stumped means... But he didn't get the chance to finish his sentence. You'll never believe in 1,100 years whose head popped up into the treehouse at that moment. It was Mayor Hubble. I heard you were running for president of the 3rd grade, AJ, he told me. I came to help you win the election. How did you know we would be holding our super secret strategy session up here? Asked Ryan. I was a boy once, you know, said the mayor. Just once? I said. I'm a boy all the time. Look, AJ, said the mayor. Let's get down to business. You don't like Andrea, do you? No. You want to beat her on election day, don't you? Yeah. You want to humiliate her, right? Yeah. You want her to wish she was never born. Yeah. Well, I have a plan to help you win the election, said the mayor. What is it? We all asked. I'm not going to tell you, said the mayor. Why not? Asked Neil. Okay, I'll tell you, the mayor said, but you have to wait until the next chapter. Why can't you tell us in this chapter? Asked Ryan. Because this chapter is almost over, said Mayor Hubble. There's no room. Why don't you just make this chapter a little longer? Asked Michael. And tell us now. Wait a minute, Alexia said. Why are you guys talking about chapters? Are we in a book or something? Of course we're in a book, I told Alexia. It's a series called My Weirder School. Never heard of it, Alexia said. That's because you're new, I told her. It doesn't matter, said Mayor Hubble. AJ, the point is that if you do what I tell you to do, you'll beat Andrea in the election. Why do you care whether or not I win the election? I asked. Because if I help you beat Andrea, said the mayor, maybe you can do something for me. You scratch my back and I'll scratch yours. What does back scratching have to do with anything? I asked. My back doesn't even itch. AJ, said the mayor, after I help you win the election, the only thing you need to do is tell all the parents to vote for me. Can you do that? I looked at Ryan. Ryan looked at Neil. Neil looked at Michael. Michael looked at Alexia. Alexia looked at me. It's a deal, I said. Great, said the mayor. Let's keep this our little secret. My lips are sealed, I said, but not with glue or anything. That would be weird. Chapter 5. Yuck! Kissing. Gross. When I got to school the next day, kids and parents were sitting all over the front steps. There were posters, banners, and signs hanging on the fence. Vote for Andrea. Gifted, talented, and ready. AJ puts the cool in school. Ryan, Michael, and Neil the nude kid were standing around in black t-shirts with their arms crossed in front of them and scowls on their faces. What's up with you guys? I asked. We're your bodyguards, Ryan told me. We have to look mean. Yeah, said Neil the nude kid. Somebody might try to attack you. If somebody messes with you, we'll take care of them, said Michael, punching a fist into his open hand. Who told you to dress like that? I asked them. And who made all these signs? They all looked over at the sidewalk, where Mayor Hubble was leaning against a telephone pole. He winked at me, and I went over to him. Andrea was at the top of the steps, standing at a podium. So in conclusion, Andrea said, that's why you should vote for me to be president of the 3rd grade. Thank you. The kids sitting on the steps clapped and cheered and waved little flags for Little Miss Perfect. Great job, Andrea, said Mr. Klutz. Now it's time to hear from the other candidate for 3rd grade president, AJ. What? I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. I had to think fast. Nobody told me I had to give a speech, I whispered to Mayor Hubble. Don't worry about it, he said, slipping me a sheet of paper. Just read this. What is it? It's your stump speech. You want me to speak to people with no legs? I asked. Not that kind of stump, the mayor said. A stump speech is a standard political speech that you give over and over again. I climbed the steps and stood behind the podium. Everybody was clapping and cheering like crazy. I was nervous. I had never given a speech before. I started to read from the piece of paper Mayor Hubble gave me. 47 years ago, I said, I had a dream. I had a dream that the ballot was stronger than the bullet. The pen was mightier than the sword, and those who stand for nothing fall for anything. Now, fellow students, I've been to the mountaintop, and I can tell you this. Ask not what your school can do for you. Ask what you can do for your school. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Give me liberty or give me death. Read my lips. Tear down this wall. The time for change has come. No man is an island. But if you vote for me, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness shall not perish from this earth. Thank you. Everybody was going crazy. Alexia was the first one to congratulate me. That was terrific, AJ. What did I just say? I asked her. Who cares? She replied. Listen to that applause. On the other side of the steps, I saw that Andrea was going around shaking hands with everybody, so I figured I had to do that too. My bodyguards surrounded me as I walked around shaking hands with people on the sidewalk. That's when the weirdest thing in the history of the world happened. Some lady stuck a baby in my face. Ah! I screamed. What's this baby doing here? It's too young to be in school. Never mind that, AJ, Alexia whispered. Kiss the baby. I'm not kissing a baby, I replied. I don't even like kissing my mother when people are around. Kissing babies is part of running for office, AJ, said Michael. You have to do it. Why? I asked. Babies can't vote. You don't want to kiss my baby? Asked the lady. She looked all sad. AJ, it will look bad if you don't kiss the baby, said Ryan. You're going to lose the election and Andrea will be president. And if you don't kiss the baby, said Neil, that means you love Andrea. I do not, I protested. Kiss it, AJ, said Alexia. I looked at the baby. The baby looked at me. It was drooling. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. I wished I could just run away to Antarctica and live with the penguins. I kissed the baby. And when I leaned over to kiss the baby, I'm pretty sure I smelled something. Something bad. I think the baby pooped, I yelled. Ugh, disgusting. I thought I was gonna die. Chapter 6. On the Stump. Later that day, Mayor Hubble showed up in the playground at recess. Man, ever since he got out of jail, that guy sure has a lot of time on his hands. The gang and me were playing on the monkey bars when the mayor came over. It's time to go on the stump, AJ. Do you want me to stand on a tree that was cut down? Not that kind of stump, Mayor Hubble said. I mean, you've got to campaign for votes. Andrea was standing on the top of the swing set nearby. A bunch of kids were gathered on the ground, listening to her talk. When I'm president of the 3rd grade, Andrea said, I promise there will be plenty of pencils and paper and glue sticks and scissors and crayons in every class. Elementary school will be the best school in the state. Yay! Everybody was cheering. The gang turned to look at me. What are you going to promise to do when you're president, AJ? Asked Mayor Hubble. How should I know? Andrea is making all kinds of promises, said Ryan. So you've got to make some promises too, if you want to win. What kind of promises? I asked. It doesn't matter, said Mayor Hubble, as long as you get the kids to vote for you. I climbed up on the top of the monkey bars. Attention, third graders, I shouted. I have an important announcement. All the kids who were listening to Andrea came over to the monkey bars. When I'm president of the third grade, I shouted, I promise there will be no more homework. Yay! Everybody started chanting, no more homework. Andrea had on her mean face. I have an important announcement, she shouted. Some of the kids went back over to her. When I'm president, we will have fewer fire drills. That way we'll be able to spend more time learning. Yay! Can you possibly be any more boring? I shouted to Andrea. When I'm president, we'll have more fire drills. In fact, we'll have a fire drill every day with real fires. Yay! Andrea looked madder than ever. The kids didn't know if they should listen to her or me, so they started running back and forth between us. When I'm president, Andrea shouted, every student in the school will get their own iPad. You won't have to carry a heavy backpack anymore because all your books will be on the iPad. Yay! When I'm president, I shouted, there will be a video game system built into every desk in the school. Yay! When I'm president, Andrea shouted, the water fountains will be filled with lemonade. Yay! When I'm president, I shouted, every day will be a snow day, even if there's no snow. And we're going to have rain days, too. After all, rain is just extremely wet snow. Yay! And furthermore, I shouted, we're going to take all the hard words out of the dictionary, and we're going to abolish anything higher than the 5 times table. Kids will no longer have to sit in the corner when they misbehave. We're going to make all the classrooms round so there will be no corners, and all the teachers will be fired and replaced by comic book superheroes. Yay! Top that, Andrea, I shouted. In your face. Andrea was really mad. It looked like she couldn't think of anything else to promise. If you vote for me, she finally shouted, I'll give each of you $1. Gasp! Everybody gasped. Then they started cheering. Yay! If you vote for me, I shouted, I'll give you $2. Yay! I'll give you $3 and a candy bar, shouted Andrea. Yay! We went back and forth like that for a while. Making promises is fun.